So, John, walk me through your draft night, the most unpredictable draft I can recall. I've done about 20 of these, close to it. And you've done more. It's so tough to predict. You're sitting there at 5 with somebody else's draft choice. And I know I talked to you and I talked to, Pete Carroll beforehand. And so you're kicking tires on everybody, but you have absolutely no idea what's happening with the quarterback market in front of you. Walk me through your night, what that was like for you in your draft.
It's interesting because I agree with you. It was a very odd draft, especially at the top. In previous years, we'd be able to say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe, I don't know, 7.
Yeah.
But we got into this thing. We're really close with Scott Fitter and Dan Morgan and all those guys in Carolina, and as many beers as I try to buy those guys, they would not let me know what was going on. So we didn't know literally until, I think everybody kind of found out at the same time, like, okay, one is definitely going to be Bryce. And then after that, it was still wide open until the clock really started. And so we were, we had a ton of contingency plans ready. We personally believe that, we had, Devin as one of the top 2 defensive players in the draft, and we're, really excited that he was still there and we were able to pick. We had set it up where, if he was not there or another player was there, we were going to try to go back. But other than that, we were just really excited to get Devin and get rolling with it. But yeah, great point. It was really interesting, every pick in there, and is Stroud going to go too? Where's Will going to go? And
right,
all those guys. It was really interesting. Devin was very quiet. I think everybody, that's what made me nervous. People weren't talking about him a ton until, I guess people in your industry, Rich, weren't talking about him a ton until. Maybe like a week before or something like that, as being a top 5 pick. So that made us pretty nervous. But other than that, we're really excited that he was still there and we were able to pick.
Well, I mean, most of those in this industry were pegging Devon Witherspoon for the Lions right after you. And interestingly enough, Lions trade out as soon as you take the kid at 5. What did you see in him? Like, why him over every defensive player minus Will Anderson at your disposal at that point in time, John? It actually was a really pretty easy study because he's a guy that when you watch the film, is a really, really natural, instinctive football player that can sit in zone and has a really good feel for route concepts and the crossers and then, ball skills, obviously, but then really the physicality, just jumps off the charts. I know Pete compared him to, we were kind of arguing throughout the spring. Pete was comparing him to Troy Polamalu. I was comparing him to Dale Carter. A lot of people kind of struggled with Dale Carter. They didn't really necessarily know who he was. But I was with him in Kansas City, and just such a physical corner. And, that really stood out. Obviously, everybody's seen the play against Indiana, maybe ad nauseum now, but, that kind of play was consistent in every game you put on. And so you went obviously in that direction. If you don't mind, Jalen Carter was sitting right out there as well. And I know you like Witherspoon, you love him, and that's why you took him. Was he in consideration to you? What can you add to see if?
Yeah, we had a great visit with Jalen when we brought him in here. He was in consideration. We just felt that Devin was a better fit for us, and Devin had a great visit with us as well. And so we were just, the physicality part is what really stood out about Devin. Obviously, Jalen has a ton of natural talent. It was just, hey, there's a couple guys that were really we call them true, they have to be a blue player on our board, and that means and a green player, which means that, you have the grit and you're a green guy, meaning that you are a Seahawk. And he had all those things, and so we went for it. He had both of those.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.